really hope you've had some good conversations. Is there anybody who would like to share what you chatted about in your group?
I'll be happy to chat for room 1.
Yes, please.
First we introduced ourselves to each other, but I was with Mary Flynn and Grace Corrigan. They know each other already, they're colleagues. They work in a variety of different settings with a range of children, some in schools, some early years. Whereas I'm just predominantly early years online at the moment, and we were discussing just the challenges of being online, particularly if you are working with a large group in school, because there is that distance from the screen and that, you know, not knowing who the children are, not being able to kind of identify them by name because you haven't had that opportunity to do so, which makes it makes it quite impersonal because there is that distance and you don't know who the children are. But then there's also that really nice personal touch of being, if you're doing an early years Zoom session with families, you're being invited into their living rooms. So there's really wonderful, lovely things about it, but then there's the challenges as well of, do you do live sessions? Do you record stuff? But there's benefits, I think, for everything. And I think generally our conversation was quite positive, even though we were talking about, you know, challenges too with doing online things. And, you know, that hope that we can get back to face, but sort of that realism of it may not be, what's the word I'm looking for? It may not be forever. There will be possibly, you know, we are expecting that there may be times where we have to go back to online again. So that uncertainty, I think that's what it is.
Thank you so much. I'm sure loads of that resonates with everybody here. Is there anyone from group 2 who would like to tell us about what you talked about? Yes? No?
I can't remember which group I was in.
You know me.
I'm happy to say a few words on behalf of our group. If we might have been 6, maybe, don't know.
That would be fine, Polly, thank you.
Yes, so we had a general chat about who was where and what kind of activities we're doing. Quite a mix between pre-recording content and live sessions, and then some being back. We had quite a similarity between doing sessions in libraries and about how, when we're normally in libraries or doing storytelling, how we musical storytelling can be very child-led. They're very confident with books, so responding to characters or pictures or actions, and how lovely that is in live sessions. We like that. We had different feelings on planning and losing control and chaos. Some people like that, others are more planners, and how each preference can almost meet in the middle to go with an idea and let it roll. Yeah, having time and space to explore children's ideas, that feeling like you can take the time and not worry if an idea comes immediately from the children. And again, we thought that just some of the things, being a child-led practice, is often about listening and watching and responding, echoing, extending, and creating together. They were some of the things that we chatted. Yeah.
That's all fantastic. Thank you so much. So are there any of the other groups who would like to share something? Give me a good wave if you do want to.
I'll share.
Oh, Kate and then Helen.
Oh, sorry. So I thought I was said group 1, so I don't know, but I was there with Francis and Kath and Erica. We chatted about our location and what we're up to and what we've been doing over the last year or so. And Francis mentioned for online, I think it was that anyway, Francis, about can you show us an action, and we'll put it into a song, or and I just scribbled that down in my notes, and then I just carried it on. Francis said, or an animal, and then I put or a toy, which kind of links into, I do a toy box challenge, which we didn't have time to talk about, sorry. So I get the children to rummage about, find a toy, and then I'll try and think of a song to link to that. All very useful online.
Perfect. I love that. I'm sure lots of us use similar things to do that kind of choice decision making. Helen, did you have your hand up?
We were room 5, I think. We were Lydia, who I think works with Francis, that Kate just mentioned, and Heather, who is excitingly in Stornoway, would you believe? So I'll give you a couple of practical ideas that people suggested. Lydia said about bringing a prop or a toy for their Zoom session so that it can be linked in to what's going on. Heather had the good idea, especially with slightly older ones, also reception age, of letting children take turns to be unmuted. You be the teacher now, and the child does the action or the singing thing that's to be echoed. I'm in the fortunate position now because I work in schools, so I am only doing face-to-face. But when I was in lockdown, I was making little videos rather than live, and I would suggest a prompt for something and then say pause now and you have a go. So to leave little gaps, opportunities within the video for them to stop and do their own thing, depending what it was. So there you go. Is that all right?
I love that. That's fantastic. Yes, it is better than all right. Has anybody else got anything that they would like to say at this point? Is everybody? Oh, yes, Kath.
Just thought, as people were speaking there, I said it really makes a difference whether it's like a one-off, whether you're doing a workshop in a school or with a big group of kids, or it's just like a one thing, or whether it's people that you are meeting on a weekly basis, and so you get to know them and which animals they've got, and so that it's quite different the way that you perhaps approach it, because you can refer to perhaps what they did the week before, or so it just kind of made me think about that. Really, you need to approach it in quite a different way. If it's kids that somebody said a huge class and you've got no idea who's who, that's a little bit tricky.
Yeah,
so it's easier when you know.
I would echo that. So if it's okay with all of you, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I kind of try to engender that child-led musical environment. If any of you have a thought, please do unmute and chip in, just like we would if we were in the space together. It would be a really open and collaborative space. And as much as we can, I would love it to still feel like that. When I'm planning a music session, I think about the session as though it is a whole piece of music. So I imagine I walk in, I have my intro or my little overture or whatever it is, and then all the activities and the songs that I do within that structure of my session are part of a piece of music. And then I have a little coda on the end, which might be end with a nice little cadence, incorporating my goodbye song, and then the music is over. And for the way my mind works, that really helps me think about my planning. It kind of suits the aesthetic that I try to bring into my practice. Now, long ago, I used to sing with a swing band, and I also used to play the trombone. And I know that every time we played with the swing band, I would be expected to stand up and do my 12 bars improvisation. And, you know, I learned how to improvise. And I see creating a child-led activity within either within your structured session, hopefully creeping outwards so that your whole session becomes child-led, is a bit like improvising. It's also a little bit like being a stand-up comedian and responding to an audience. Repetition is a key, isn't it? So the thing that allows something new and creative to spin out into your session is that idea of repetition, repetition, repetition. And we all know, as early as practitioners, the more you sing a song, the deeper that the roots will grow within the child, the more they will understand it, and the more they know the structure of the song, the more they'll be able to make new things out of it. So that's one way in. When you're, say you were on a Zoom and I might be singing one of the songs that I really like to sing with young people, it might be something like, in the autumn, there's an apple tree song I love. So it's a Shake the Apple Tree song. It comes from the Hungarian Kadai Steiner tradition, and it says, shake, shake the apple tree, windy, windy weather. Shake, shake the apple tree, windy, windy weather. One for you and one for me, one for you and one for me. Shake, shake the apple tree, windy, windy weather. Now, I might be watching the children and thinking none of them have got apples. In fact, it's not even autumn, but we know we love this song. What kind of tree could it be? And if they show me that they've got a toy bee, I will turn it into fly, fly the buzzy bee, windy, windy weather. Fly, fly the buzzy bee, windy, windy weather. Flying here and flying there, flying here and flying there. Fly, fly the buzzy bee, windy, windy weather. Now, I can assure you, until the moment when I picked the bee up, I had no intention of singing that. My desk is covered in strange things. But I know that song so well that I could sing it with anything, really. Even a dinosaur tree or a Lego tree or a tractor tree or a green tractor tree or a blue tractor tree or a car tree, anything. You know you can make it work, don't you? So that's a thing I'll be looking for. I will be looking to see what people are doing. In fact, I can see, are they bananas? I can say, where's my banana tree? Sunny, sunny weather. Where's my banana tree? Sunny, sunny weather. One for you and one for me. I'd like a banana, please. Where's my banana tree? Sunny, sunny weather. Wouldn't that be great? I'd love a banana tree. And that's so nice. I love bananas. Bananas look like yellow smiles as well, don't they? Oh, delicious. So that's one way of making sure that your sessions are child-led on Zoom. That's a gentle, tiny way of one moment being child-led. It's true that the majority of it was me because I'd already chosen that song. But instead of thinking, oh, do I know a song about bananas? Yes, I might. What could it be? Can I remember all the words? Just make the song you're already singing about delicious bananas and purple things too. So if this was a session between me and Kate and her household, so much exciting stuff is going on there. It could really easily be child-led, couldn't it? And we would chat and we could choose songs. It'd be amazing. But if it's a bigger group, how do you split your attention? That's the challenge that some of you were talking about. How do you split that attention? Well, you already do it because you do it in the sessions that you lead anyway. You know, it's the difference between having that lovely sense of space in a room where all your feelers are there, aren't they? You know what's going on. Hopefully, you've got a sense of collective togetherness within that musical space. I'm not going to say control because I think Polly talked about the control and the chaos, and I'm definitely one of those people who likes to ride the waves of chaos through my music making sessions, and the thrill when we all get back to shore and it's all been fine is just lovely. It's harder on Zoom. So what you need to do first of all is ask yourself what works for you, What do you need in order to be able to change the balance of control? What do you need for those sessions to be successful for you so that you can make them child-led? So,
Okay, Rebecca, sorry.
no,
I was just trying to record a voice memo of the tune of Shake the Apple Tree, but instead of me messing about with all that now, is there, you know, like, I know we can view this recording back, but is there any notes on a handout or anything? Are we getting any words after this?
There will be a handout. I can do notes and I can also do little recordings. There's an email address on the handout. Anything like that you want, just email me and say, Rebecca, will you please sing that song into a voice memo, and I will ping it straight to you without any question.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay. So, yeah, what do you need? What do you need as a practitioner to be able to share the balance of control with the children, to be able to collaborate wholly with them? Because that's what we're asking, isn't it? Kath?
I was thinking, especially with the Zoom, it really helps, and because they're in living rooms, you don't know who's got what. The communication is really, really important. And so a day or two before, if you want some kind of control, or you would like to go in one particular direction, then make it really super clear. If you can gather a couple of wooden spoons, or you'd like to find a ball for that session, or just to communicate very, very clearly with the parents and what you would hope we might have to hand, you know, a cuddly toy or a scarf or something. And then it helps to think that they might, you know, fingers crossed, if they read their email and stuff, come with the right, a few things that we've all got, and then hopefully it'll pull the group together a bit. So just clear communication.
And a good way to flip that round is because for some families, certainly some families I work with, to begin to ask them to do that kind of preparation, it's already stressful. I've had 4 children. I remember. It's already stressful, isn't it, sometimes, to remember that you're actually going to be in a session with your child, and to maybe do your hair a bit and take your dressing gown off. It's sometimes good just to say, what have you got with you today? Because children, they're like me, I'm quite childish. I've always got a bag full of all the stuff I love the best, and often a pencil case too. So I might say to the family, what have you got there? What have you got? Because there are so many ways that you can tailor your session around what you can ask those children to hold up. You know, see what they've brought with them to the Zoom, just like you would. So I do a lot of parent carer child sessions, and, you know, they'll bring stuff with them. And I try to make a point of looking at what is in their hands. Chances are, if they are holding it in their hand at that moment in time on that day, it is their most precious thing and their priority. Whether it is a dinosaur or a wand, a magic wand, or a boat or a shoe, whatever it may be. And in that, I will work out whether it's something I should be incorporating into the session. I might ask the parent, actually, you know, oh, is that something special? Do we need to talk about that? Especially if it's a kind of non-toy item, you know. Ask them, see what colour their socks are. I have a real good thing in real life, face-to-face sessions, where I chat about shoes to the children. I'll look around and go, wow, you've all got really cool shoes. And I couldn't understand why. That always really triggers a conversation with children. They'll talk about their shoes. And I spent ages going, why? Apart from the fact that, you know, I could talk about shoes all day. Why not? Why do we love our shoes so much? And it wasn't until I had my youngest child that I realised that he and I spent so much shared focus looking at the shoes on his feet, putting the shoes on, taking the shoes off, keeping the shoes on. And often it's a point of choice for very, very young children. They know they don't like that feeling of the shoes being on their feet, and sometimes they do. So that focus on shoes really works for me. It gets amazing conversations starting. I might sing a song about everybody's shoes, you know, just like, Henry's wearing blue shoes, blue shoes, blue shoes. I'm not wearing my blue shoes. My shoes are pink, you know. Or and just listening to what colour the children tell you their shoes are, because it might have absolutely no bearing whatsoever to the actual colour that they are. That's fine. I'm not going to correct them. If they tell me they're wearing orange shoes and they're black, I'm going to sing that they've got orange shoes, because in the world that they're working in, they might either be in that place where all colours have the same name, so it doesn't matter whether you're telling them they're black when they're orange, they won't care. Or they might just have seen some orange shoes, or their book might be orange and they might be transferring that across to everything. Okay. Always reflect on the session. If you know you're going to see those children again, I'm jumping ahead a little bit. Imagine that the session's happened. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. You maybe haven't quite known what you would sing or how it would go. You've ended the session with your non-contact goodbye song because you can't play with your lycra or your scrunchie. That is a challenge, isn't it? And you've got to the end of the session. Have a little think about what happened that was led by the children. So what is it that happens in that space where the children have actually had the space to make their own decision, where they've chosen what is going to happen? And I don't mean just in terms of what's your favourite song, what do you like? I mean in genuinely, you know, did you respond to their body language? Did you get louder? You know, a lot of children will do that straight away when you start singing. Do you ignore that, or do you kind of moderate the way that you're behaving? They're all ways to kind of bring this child-led sense. Once you start doing that, it will spread through your practice. I know that sounds kind of really, I promise you, once you believe, it will happen. But I really think it's true. I think the hardest step is giving over the control and stepping away from the really tight lesson plan. So I've got another question for you on the Mentimeter. Okay, so hopefully if you click on it, it will have moved on, or it will invite you to the next slide. And the question that I want you to answer now is, what could the benefits of making your music practice child-led be? Give me a thumbs up if that's the next slide appearing on your Mentimeter, if it's actually there.
I'm afraid I closed mine. Sorry.
Oh, well, you can open it again if you get the chance, because there are 2 more questions, but you don't need to. So, more songs that I use in that context and more strategies. All right, props. I'm going to get on to props. Yeah, what are we going to do without the lycra and the scrunchies? So I have considered hand sanitizer, different vac-bagged lycra for different sessions. All of those kind of things are steps in a future. But in the short term, I bought buckets for all of my participants. So everybody gets a bucket now when they come into a session that can be sanitized. And instead of lycra and things, I put streamers in, and everybody gets shakers so they can also hit the bucket really loudly with the shaker, and they get scarves so that every family who comes in gets that. Now, this is kind of against a lot of my gut reactions. This is not my normal practice. Normally I have a lovely big basket full of instruments, full of a huge variety of instruments, and every child gets to choose, which is why I thought I had to make sure that every single child got a selection of the same things. Okay, so when they've got the streamer, I might be looking at which child, you know, I'm building in that option, because some of them are like, will be going, I like the blue bit. You know, I'll be looking to see who likes what colour. So I might do I live in quite a rural area. Tractor songs are really big around here. So bouncing up and down on a big red tractor can become bouncing up and down on a big pink tractor, yellow tractor, green tractor, and maybe it's not a tractor. By the time we've got to somebody's choice, it's a rocket now. Okay, bouncing up and down on whatever, or flying to the sky on a big green rocket. That's not a bad way to go. They're little easy ways. I make sure I have lots of props like bells. I'm not necessarily giving them to all the children, but if I got them, I might be saying, oh, look, somebody's picked up the orange streamer. I'm going to pick up the orange bell. And then when I've demonstrated all the bells have different sounds over a few sessions, they might choose then, well, look, we might have that child's got the red streamer and that one's the orange streamer. Let's make some music with the sound of those streamers. I've got these gadgets, which I actually bought for my children, but only because I thought they were so exciting, but they didn't instill the excitement in my children that I thought they should, so now they're mine for work. And they're called Find It, and they're like giant shakers, but inside the shakers, there are tiny shapes to find. So in this one, there are dinosaurs and things like that. So if you've got a child, you can say, I don't know if you can see that adequately. There are different coloured dinosaurs inside the shaky beads. And there's another one here that has all sorts of things inside the shaky beads. So there's a butterfly there. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so I might use those and say, what can you see? What song can we sing? If you have a look at that big shaker, what song shall we sing? And you might be able to see, so there's a bicycle that I can see there. And there's a little balloon, all sorts of things. So they're really good because literally there is a list of everything in there, but I'm not about to read that list and I have a song planned for every single thing that you could find. And you know what? A child might see something in there that isn't in there at all. They might look and go, oh, I can see the rain, or I can see gravel. You know, they might not be going to that place where can you see the little orange bicycle. So I love those.
Rebecca, Carol has shared something here in the chat about a jigsaw that she uses. Don't know if you've seen that.
Let me just have a little look. A jigsaw with transport on it, choosing which way you travel, the colour of the vehicle, where it's going. Brilliant, exactly. Those sort of things are great. And you can get those beach balls, can't you? That have got different things on the ball that are kind of introducing the idea of that limited choice, which brings you to the idea of flexible action songs. So I sing a song a lot, which is Little Bird Fly Through My Window. So I learnt this song actually years ago from I think the Sing Up Song Bank was the first place I found it. So I did a bit of digging, and it's a Caribbean folk song that Pete Seeger collected in the 1950s. So I did a bit of digging even further back, and it's just one that I really, really like. There are English versions of it dating from the beginning of the kind of 20th century, collected by Vaughan Williams. So there's a Bluebird song. But this song I really like because it's about molasses candy, and it's about the little bird flying out of the window, and the chorus has got fly through my window, my sugar lump, which is just a lovely words to sing. So I use that loads because it is a flexible action song where anything can be flying through the window. So does everybody know it? Shall I have a little sing of it? Okay, so I might have to find myself a drum, because I do like a drum to play it with. I might use a shaker. Can't find my drumstick. You all right there? Okay. I'll be quiet with the drum or else it'll be too loud. Little bird, fly through my window. Little bird, fly through my window. Little bird, fly through my window. Buy molasses candy. Fly through my window, my sugar lump. Fly through my window, my sugar lump. Fly through my window, my sugar lump, and buy molasses candy. Okay, so that's my opening gambit, but I can guarantee it will be dinosaur fly through my window. Dinosaur, and buy me Smarties. So I might be singing, dinosaur, dinosaur, fly through my window. Dinosaur, dinosaur, fly through my window. Dinosaur, dinosaur, fly through my window. Buy us all some Smarties. And on and on. I'll never say, but that can't fly. I'll never ever say that. I'll never say, well, no, we're not going to sing a helicopter because it doesn't scan quite as well. I'll sing helicopter. I'll sing shoe. I'll sing anything. And then it might not be fly through my window. It might be fly through the door, fly through the sky, until what you've got is the skeleton of a song that used to be. And everything's changed. And for me, that is a victory. If the whole song's changed because the children want whole new lyrics, that is exactly what I want to happen. So I'm going to send you into the breakout spaces again. And what I would like you to do is to think about sharing the songs that you know work, because this is a song share. This isn't me singing at you. I want you to sing to each other. So before I send you off to the breakout spaces, has anybody got anything that they want to add to the conversation at this point? Everybody happy to go? Okay, I'm going to look at the breakout rooms. I'm going to recreate them so that you'll probably be in different rooms. I'm just going to check my numbers. So if you get sent to a room and you shouldn't be there, zap yourself back if you want to. If you get sent to a room and you want to stay, I'm talking to Sarah really, you can stay in the room or you can come back if you'd like to. Okay guys, I'm just going to give you about 10 minutes really to really sing to each other. And what I would like you to bring back is either a list of the songs that you thought were great and pop them into the chat when you come back, or a list or requests. If you're like, I don't know how to make these songs child-led, put requests in. And while we might not be able to address that in this session, I will definitely, in the presentation that I finished putting together, address them all, and I'll include your list of songs in that. Is that okay? Okay.